Salam, I have three questions to ask. The Lataif or Chakras you use in zikr, isn't that a Hindu practice? And where is that method taught in the Sunnah? Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh makes mention in a lecture of his teacher traveling galaxies and seeing creatures not of this planet. How was this done, and did any of the pious of the four generations after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do this? If so, are there any examples? And after the zikr sessions, people in the audience often mention they meet the Sahaba, etc. What method is this, and was it introduced, and where was it introduced into Islam first? Over to yourself.
Right. Mashallah, a very good question. First of all, you have mentioned about Lataif or whatever you have called it chakras, that there are certain entities in the human being. Isn't that actually you're saying Hindu or anything? Now, let's say if I say to you that you should use your hands to help people, your eyes to reflect on the creation, and your feet going towards actually good things, your ears to hear with devotion, and the other person says, well, Hindus also use eyes, Hindus also use hands, Hindus also use feet, Hindus also use eyes, they talk about ears, Christians also use. Well, obviously they are organs and they will be present. They are not specific to one religion or anything. They are organs of the body, and they are. Every religion will teach how to use these organs. We have 7 organs: eyes, ears, hands, feet, tongue. Actually, feet, stomach, private parts. Everyone, be it Hindu, they will. Matter is how to use them. How Hindus say, how Shaitan say use it, or actually how actually other religions also teach actually good things about them. So it's not about the organs. It's meaning not actually you may say a logical approach to say, oh, they have, or they also talk about tongue. Well, there's nothing wrong with talking about the tongue. What we say to use the tongue, how to use that tongue, that is the thing. Similarly, there are inner organs. You can call them lataif, means actually something which cannot be seen. So there is heart. Now, different cultures talk about heart. Islam also talks about the heart, that the heart has love in it, the heart has this. But that type of heart cannot be seen. So that's why it's called latifa. Heart refers to the inner self, actually. So it, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that when a person does a bad act, their black spot appears on the heart. Now, where is that heart? Is this physical? Can you see any bad spot? No, it is hidden from us, or that's why it's called latif. Latifa means subtle thing, actually, which cannot be perceived by the physical eye. So there are other things. For example, the nafs. Now that's also a latifa. Latifa means not an entity but cannot be seen. Similarly, there is aql, mind. You can see the brain, but you can't see the mind actually in it as such. That is something not seen. Aql. Similarly, there is ruh, the latifa or the subtlety of ruh is present. Oh, the ruh, as we know, is from light, and it's not from the dust, and it covers all the body. So these are the things Islam actually mentions them actually, and every religion talks about heart and the ego, the nerves, and the spiritual entities. So that's not the point actually that they talk about. Point is that what does actually what do we teach through them? Do we teach that in the latifa of the heart, or the heart, the spiritual heart, which Islam talks about, what should we be decorating it with? If we say you should have envy, another thing is wrong. If you say you should have love and things like that. So in Islam, in the Quran, these entities are mentioned, more are mentioned even actually. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in the one hadith, he said that Allahumma ja'al fi qalbi noora, that oh Allah, this is a dua in sajda and also for going toward the masjid. Oh Allah, enlighten my heart. Uh, let Noor come into my heart. Allahumma ja'al fi qalbi Noora. Oh Allah, make the light Noor actually be in my, enlighten my heart, spiritual entity of heart. Wa fi lisani Noora. Oh Allah, let light enter my tongue. Now, here is the tongue, physical. So that's the spiritual entity which is being spoken about, that light actually. Wa fi sam'i Noora. Oh Allah, enlighten, let Noor come towards my hearing. وفي بصري نورا, my seeing. وجعل في شعري نورا, in every actually hair, strand of hair. وفي لحمي, and all my actually uh, meat and flesh actually. So meaning there are much, the spiritual entities or the spirit and the unseen entities are covering whole actually things actually, and it is how you use it. And you can call it latifa, you can call it like here now even modern terminology, they call it spiritual center or energy, whatever. Well, Islam has its own name, like nafs and qalb and ruh and thing, and sir and aql and all these things. So this is actually that they're much more than that. Okay, some other religion also, because they also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla majduhu mentioned in the Quran, وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ, that to every nation they have come a guide. So Christian had Isa alayhi salam, so there will be things which are overlapping, which is about Tawheed and things, and in the Injil. We can't say, oh, in the Christian mention about God, oh, shall we not then believe in God? The Christian gospel mentions about Day of Judgment, so it says that we are following the Christian. No, no. If they are true, we follow. If so, we have the criteria here, actually, the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and that they emphasize very much on the spiritual side of human being, which is the called is qalb or fuad, that it should be purified. The nafs, actually, the purification of the soul that the Quran mentioned. So all these things are mentioned. Now, the other thing which you have mentioned about galaxical world, or actually seeing something actually. See, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that actually the prophethood has ended. The prophethood meaning there will be no prophet. What does prophet meaning? Actually, some you may say message from Allah subhanahu wa taala, some sign, and he said, accept illa al mubashirat, accept the mubashirat, actually the glad tidings. And what were they? He said they are the good dream. They are the dreams. So there is an element of dream vision which a person can see. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that they are also of three kinds as well. These visions, they are from shaitan. They can be from actually the psychological type dreams and visions. They can be. So these are things actually, you may say, that entity is there, the spirit is there to actually experience. And if a person does good deeds, very much good deeds, they will most likely to see good dreams and visions, or unveiling the mukashifat as well. Actually, the Quran actually talks about Sayyida Maryam. Who is Sayyida Maryam? Sayyida Maryam is a waliya, she's not a prophet. And she sees the angel coming to her saying all these things. Similarly, Sayyidina Khidr. So there are examples actually in the Quran and the Sunnah for these things, and that a person can see. But it is that the rule is actually that anything we see, dream or anything, it doesn't have any validity if it is in compliance with the Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, good and well, and it can be interpreted. If not, actually, then actually this is. So this is it, and the concept of you may say Miraj or ascension. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam I went on Miraj. This is and it's mentioned for the believers. As-salatu miraj al-mu'minin. The salah is the miraj of a believer, and so that part actually is the visions, dreams. This part is for ummah, left actually here. It can be experienced, and with certain amal, certain deeds, one can experience more. So this is the matter, and there are also many examples. As I said in the Quran, I gave you about Sayyidina Maryam and other Sayyidina Luqman, Sayyidina Khidr, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that who were not prophet, who were awliya, and but they had a certain experience, certain karamat, and similarly amongst the Sahaba Ikram Rizwanun alayhim ajma'in, Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, um, was standing in Madinatul Munawwara, and there was a jihad going on in Egypt or in other country, and the commander said that the Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu Sahaba say that he said, Ya Sariya al Jabal, in the khutbah of Jum'ah or khutbah, oh Sariya, look at the beware of the mountain. And he said, I heard it here, there, thousands miles away, and there was attack of enemy from there. So these are from the, you must say, qabil of kind of karamat, miraculous occurring, which actually happen to pious and righteous people sometimes.